welcome to Get Lean with Adelene. You have myself, Adelene Tutu, taking you through a lovely Pilates core burner for today. So with this first series and sequence, we're going to start with our standing position. So with this one, just understanding our neutral spine, so you're not arching through the back. Remember, bringing that tailbone up to our breastbone and keeping our core nice and tight throughout this entire series. With this first one, I want you to work on your dominant, your non-dominant side. So I'm usually right in and kicking with my right, which means I start working with my left, so that my dominant side doesn't take away from the entire workout if I start with that side. So left foot flat on the mat, and I want you to feel the 3 balls of your foot pushed into the mat. From here, I'm going to soften my knees, so do not fully extend that knee. Keep it nice and soft. Once you're there, I want you to bring your right foot on your toe just behind that heel, and you're going to push that hip while maintaining that neutral spine. So imagine your neck right down to your tailbone is aligned, and you're just going to move, pushing the hip back as you're looking down towards the mat until your chest is parallel to the floor. Once you're here, just straighten the hip, bringing yourself back, looking to the horizon. From here, just pushing that hip back. You should already feel that lovely stretch through the back of the thighs of that left leg. Now keep going until I count you down. And exhale to the top. And inhale. And exhale. We go for one more like this before we start to float the leg. All right, to make this a little more challenging, this time you can hold on to the wall or a chair, whatever you feel is more comfortable. You're going to push that hip back and then float that right knee to the back of the room with your hands out to the side. Now the hands out to the side is just to help with a bit of stability. As you're coming up, you're going to drive that knee up towards the chest, bringing it straight back in. If this is too difficult, remember you can hold on to the back of the chair or holding on to the wall as you're performing this. This is going to train your knee and your hip stabilizers. Notice as I extend that right leg, I'm not tilting my hip out to the side. I'm keeping that internally rotated, keeping that nice, comfortable, but also stacked hip, bringing it straight back up. Let's go for one more like this before we intensify this sequence. Nice work. Our lucky last one. You're going to come back all the way, staying there for a lovely stretch. Now bring that back foot to the floor and kick straight back up. Remember, you can bring your hands out to the front, out to the side, whatever you feel keeps the stability in your hips. Let's go for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that knee up, bringing your fingers to the back of your ears. From here, I rotate, I hold that position. I'm going to pulse my knee up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it off. All right. We're going to perform the exact sequence on our right side. Let's keep that right foot planted into the mat. Back foot on the toe, you're going to keep that knee nice and soft, hinging through the hips, all the way down with your chest parallel to the floor, thrusting the hips forward. Remember, as you're pushing that back, you don't want to round the back, and you don't want to arch too much. Just keep that nice neutral tuck in your pelvis. Let's go for 3 more like this. Nice foot. And 1 more. Lovely. Now let's start to float that back leg. Lifting through that back leg, hands out to the side, chest parallel to the floor. You're not opening up that hip. Keep it nice and stacked with that knee right below the hip. Drag the knee up to the chest. Let's go for 3 more like this. Last one. Let's hold at the bottom of our next one. We're going to pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that knee up, fingertips behind the ear. Let's pulse here with the knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's shake it off. All right, next up, just a little quick series on the mat. You're going to lie on your side here. Now with this first one, just bring your elbows just below the shoulder. We're going to perform this on the right side, and then after the break, we're going to continue on the left. Now just making sure that that knee is in line with your elbow, so you've got your obliques engaged. So the oblique closest to the mat is going to work really, really hard in this next one. Now let's lift that hip off the mat, and I want you to thrust your hips forward, so you're opening up the front of your body. Bring that left hand up to the ceiling. From here, I'm going to hold that position, drop my hip down, push it straight back up. And you should almost immediately feel that bottom oblique working to hold yourself up. So it's not that oblique that's on the left side, it's actually the right side pushing up. Nice work. Let's go for 3 and 2. Last one. Hover that leg up. Bring it straight back down. Going for 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Let's hold at the top. Just a little pulse here for the legs. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring it down to your lovely little mermaid stretch. Stretching out that oblique. And find me on the mat after the break. We'll continue with our sequence. Welcome back to Get Lean with Adeline, and let's move straight to the other side of our last sequence. You're going to bring your left forearm right underneath your left shoulder. So from here, just making sure that that shoulder is nice and healthy, stacked right above that elbow. You're going to bring that knee in line with that bottom elbow. Folding that top leg, you're going to thrust the hips forward as you bring that hip and your obliques away from the mat. Remember, keep that lovely long elegant neck as well, so you're not squeezing too much in the traps. From here, I raise my right hand up to the ceiling, and then I'm going to drop my hip to the mat and squeezing through the bottom oblique to bring myself back up. So you're working that lovely muscle, the frames of your abs. Dropping down, pushing straight back up. So with this one, we're going to be sculpting the entire frame of your abs. So I want you to make sure that your hips are thrusting forward rather than sitting back. So drop it down, squeezing straight back up. Let's go for 3 more like this. Final one. Let's hold. Now we're going to extend that top leg out to the side. Bringing it down, squeeze and lift. Let's go for 4. Squeezing that hip forward and 3. Last 2. Last 1. Now hold that position. I know you can do it. We're going to pulse that leg for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. You should feel that left glute, your left oblique coming into a lovely mermaid stretch. Grabbing your right shin with your right hand, reaching up, stretching out that bottom oblique. Now let's flip over onto our back for this next one. So we're going to be working your core, but also your main six-pack area. So lying flat on the mat. This time, your hands are directly below, right? Palms facing down to the mat. You're going to curl your hips up, lifting your hip off the mat, holding that position. Now bringing your hands to face, the fingertips to face the ceiling. From here, all right, finding some stability through your right leg. We're going to bring our right leg up, left foot is going to be working here. Now this next one is your knee marches. Okay, so core and hip working in unison to strengthen this entire trunk core area. So what you're trying to avoid is this movement right here. You're dropping the hip to try and bring the knee up. Let's keep the hip tucked in, and you're going to work really hard to try and keep that stability through the entire hip. Let's go for 5 more. And 4. Last 3. And 2. Last 1. Let's keep that left foot up. Now from here, I'm going to straighten that leg, drop it all the way down. Now your entire six-pack area is going to work to pull that leg back up. Meanwhile, that bottom leg is going to be working through the glutes and hamstrings to maintain that position. Let's go for 3 of these legs. Final 2. Last 1. All right, bringing it up. Now hold that position. I'm just going to pulse through that bottom leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, stretch the glutes out, bringing both your knees up to the chest. Let's flip over to the other side, starting from the very top of this movement. You're going to bring your hips up off the mat. This time going for those marches on 3, 2, 1. Let's keep the left foot down. Let's raise that right leg. Now from here, straightening that leg, bringing it down, straight back up, pulling. All right, working in unison with the abs and the glutes to hold this position while working the front of your abs. Last one. Pointing your toe up to the ceiling, hands straight up. Core work in here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bringing that hip in. Now our next one is a little core burner. You're going to keep your feet resting on the floor. Bringing your hands interlacing underneath your head. This is not a crunch, so you're not squeezing the abs. You're actually curling the upper abs forward to bring your chin up. Holding the elbows out wide from here. Raising onto your heels, onto the front balls of your feet. Heels are raised. Bring the knee up towards the chest. Now this time, you're going to imagine there's a blueberry between your lower back and your mat. You're going to imprint your spine to squash that blueberry. So keep the abs nice and engaged. Let's go for 3 and 2. Last one. Lovely. Now let's go with both the legs coming up. All right, in this lovely position, straightening the legs. Now holding your head off the mat. You're going to push your lower back deep into the mat. From here, you're going to make those scissor-like movements, but pushing that lower back deep into the mat, working your lower abs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands forward, finishing off here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in. Let's sit up nice and comfortable. And that was it for our workout for today.